Welcome to this bonus episode of the Food Fight podcast from EIT Food.
In these episodes, we want to shine a light on new projects and agri-food startups and hear about their efforts to fight for a better food future. This week, we're handing over to Uri Rosenzweig to tell us about Trellis, the startup making data more transparent and accessible for the entire food supply chain.
Hi, my name is Uri Rosenzweig, and I'm the head of product at Trellis. And we're part of EIT's Rising Food Stars, and we're fighting for the future of food because we feel very passionate about the inefficiencies in our current food supply chain between producers, growers, and manufacturers, and how technology can do its part in making the world far more efficient and profitable for both growers, manufacturers, and producers. At Trellis AI, we're building an autonomous food supply chain powered by AI to make food production a circular economy with zero waste. We're bringing together growers, food producers, and manufacturers, and streamlining information across the supply chain that allows for much more efficient sourcing, producing, and manufacturing. We run scenario management to allow our customers to simulate different decisions in real time and how they will impact their profitability and efficiency in the future, allowing for a zero-waste circular supply chain that will streamline efficiency from growers all the way to manufacturers and producers. One of the most interesting parts of our technology is not only the optimization and artificial intelligence that we use to predict and optimize the supply chains, but also the way that we fuse data. And what I mean by fuse data is that we take data that's already being collected. Both growers and food companies don't just produce food, they also produce data, quite a bit of it, every hour that they produce. And the problem is that much of the data is siloed in several different production systems, several different places, and no one has ever fused together all of that information that is trapped in all of those different places. And so the first thing that we do is we leverage historical data, some of our partners, others by third-party producers that we source from, and we fuse together all of that information, whether it's the supply and demand data, the production information, the grower information, the soil type, topography, weather information, all types of data signals. And we learn from them historically after we fuse them together, throwing out outliers, correcting places where data is insufficient or where there are clear errors. And then we build a wholesome data set that we're able to then apply our technology to then leverage that both historically as well as in real time. You know, they say that the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing and expecting different results. And we've been suffering from inefficiencies in our supply chain for a long time already, since its inception. But we're also looking at a huge population growth in the coming decades. And we're going to need to feed all those people. And trying to use the same methodologies over and over again that have fallen short will not only just continue to create and grow the amount of waste that we leave behind every single day of production across the world, we also won't be able to nourish and feed our children in the coming generations without a paradigm shift in the way that we look to food and beverage production and growing. As a company, we've built this technology not just for a particular vertical or crop or industry, and not for a particular country or geography. We're building this technology to be able to be scalable across all crops and across all geographies. And so the challenge that I'm most excited about, that we're very focused on, is being able to continue to scale this technology across crops and geographies, from grains to fruits to vegetables to leafy greens to root vegetables to tree nuts, from Asia to Australia to New Zealand, the US, Europe, across the entire world. I grew up professionally in the food industry. I worked for a large food producer, and firsthand saw the inefficiencies in food waste that's caused simply because of imbalance of supply and demand and poor production planning. And those heaps of food that were just simply thrown into the garbage and eventually to dumps that pollute our air, and understanding how not just me as part of that company could do better and that the company could be better, but the industry, the food industry as a whole, needs to adopt to take on new methodologies that have not been tried yet to be able to run a much more efficient supply chain and create a lot less waste. And I saw those inefficiencies firsthand and understood that there were so many technologies that were already revolutionizing how other processes that were also very complicated were being revolutionized and streamlined with technologies like AI and machine learning, and felt very passionately that these technologies need to be used not just in ag and not just in food production, but to be able to be streamlined across the entire supply chain, and how everyone could win by utilizing these technologies across all stakeholders. We're very excited and proud to be a part of EIT Food. The ability to be part of an ecosystem that's making such a huge impact together and collaborate with other members of the community and learn from them and be able to share ideas in open forums of what's worked and what hasn't really has been able to improve what we do as a company, how we communicate both internally and externally, and develop relationships with the industry as a whole. My one message to the food industry is to believe that things could be different, to believe that we could run a more efficient supply chain, even though there are so many unknowns, and to also believe that what will help us get there is adopting and utilizing some of the most innovative technologies to be able to get us there. I dream of a future where growers grow what they need to grow on the land that they need to use to grow it, where producers source what they need to source from their growers and don't run huge inventories that lead to food waste. And I dream of consumers that purchase what they need in order to eat.
Thanks for listening to this bonus episode of the Food Fight podcast.
To find out more and to learn how you can get involved in the fight for a better food future, head over to eitfood.eu/podcast. For more information on Trellis, head over to trellis.ag.